water is a very important component for the health of human beings, for a clean environment, and for sustainable development of the whole nation. Poor sanitation seriously compromised the health of the people.
When we started with our Healthy City program, in which we organized them at the barangay level, organizing technical working groups and then orientation. Of course, we have to improve the sanitation, so the various criteria of this program is one, the primary criteria is about water supply. Water supply, and the second is toilets, toilets for families.
In 2004, the city of Bayawan, under the leadership of Mayor Herman Saranya, sought the assistance of the German Technical Cooperation Agency for the construction of a wastewater treatment facility.
Bayawan is planning a resettlement project for the people who live along the future boulevard area, and I think it is a very nice approach, because this is a resettlement area that will be very close to the shoreline. And I know that the mayor of Bayawan has health issues as one of his priority points on the agenda, and I think he might be a good person to talk to.
The problems of sanitation in Bayawan are the same as in all main cities and municipalities all over the Philippines. The sanitation situation is pretty much neglected. So sanitation is always very much behind the issue of water supply. In the Philippines, there are more than 30% of all sicknesses directly water related, waterborne diseases. So if we try to avoid, with the implementation and the introduction of these new technologies, if we try to avoid the contamination, these sicknesses, then we have gained a strong goal, I would say already, for the whole of this country. It's an awareness which is needed to ensure the health of the population of the Philippines.
The key criteria for the selection of the technology is that it should be low cost, easy to maintain, and will utilize locally available materials.
We introduced the different options, the different technologies for wastewater treatment, and how this can be done together with this resettlement project. We had a look at the future resettlement site. When we were there the first time, it was the rice fields, and he showed us the plans. The plans were already complete, and that was all, as far as I remember, in February 2004, so more than a year ago. And when we first talked, I also introduced different technologies. One of them was anaerobic systems, and the mayor was first very interested in that. It was attractive because it will only require very little space. But then later on, by discussing the different technologies and the pros and cons of the different technologies, the mayor said, maybe a wetland treatment plant might be a bit more appropriate. And this is in fact how we arrived at this choice, that we said, yeah, it will be a wetland treatment plant.
It is expected to process wastewater coming from 700 houses in the fisherman's village.
So what we are going to do is we are going to gather all the pre-treated effluent here in this 6x6 meter main sump. And then we are going to feed first into this first bed, which is a purely vertical flow reed bed. And then after the first stage treatment, we are going to the second bed, which is not exactly the same as the first one, because this is a hybrid reed bed wherein we can choose either vertical flow or horizontal flow. No? And then after that, we are going to have the treated effluent here, which the LGU may choose either to recycle to the reed bed if we need to, or we may reuse the treated water somewhere else. You can use that for irrigation, landscaping, or you may want to have a separate lagoon for a fish pond or something. Or of course, if you choose to do so, you can simply discharge into the nearby to the sea.
The combination of soil, plants, and microorganisms efficiently remove organic pollutants, nutrients, and toxic contaminants in the water. Phragmites carca, locally known as tambo, a kind of reed commonly found in the swampy areas all over the Philippines, will be used as the filtration media.
The people which are the beneficiaries have to be involved in the decision making. Is it really that what they want, and is it what they really later on will care for?
Usa sa pagdugang po niya na aron ma-feel po sa mga tao na kini mo ang epekto bisan pa sa kabago sa ilang panglantaw, bisan pa sa kabago pinigod mismo sa Bayawan kay growing city man gyud infant pa man kita karon nga pagkaklase sa Bayawan aron ila pong matagamtam nga kini mo ang proyekto ilaha gyud no? So wala gyud bay kana bang laing tao nga makapangilabot nga mas tamas nili kundi ila gyud ning bantayan o dili lamang bantayan kundi ila pag yung palambuon to ilaha man ni.
Technical cooperation relies very much on the ownership of the counterparts. So we can only support counterparts where the real energy is, and we are in the lucky position that in Bayawan there is a strong demand for such support of technical cooperation, in this case with the wetland treatment plant.
Wetland treatment system is actually composed of two treatment cells. The first one is the vertical flow cell, and the second one is the horizontal flow system. And the treated water from the vertical flow cell is transferred to the inlet of the horizontal flow system, and the water travels under the surface through the root system where the reactions take place, and it eventually ends up in the outlet gabion where the water is considered treated already. After that, the treated effluent may be reused, recirculated through the system, or disposed of in a body of water.
We were continuously monitoring, taking samples, sometimes in the morning and sometimes in the afternoon, so that we will have say, comprehensive data on what is really the quality of the wastewater generated from the Gawad Kalinga village. Sample 1 at 6.8 shows quite an acidic character of our wastewater. Wherein after passing through the wetland, it has a pH of 7.0, which is neutral. So that's a very good result.
The Bayawan constructed wetland for communal sewerage is not just a model for a natural wastewater treatment facility, but is also a living proof that where different stakeholders work together, sustainable development can be achieved.